It's gonna get good.
It's been some time, hasn't it? You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree.
Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you?
A really good one.
This me!
Oh!
I want to build something undeniable.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Up for an adventure?
The battle they will sing about for ages.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man. I was born to play this character.
And we both have a lot riding on this.
You better not mess this up.
I know.
I am ready.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Let's go. Let's go.
We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my God!
Before we start today's video, check out our new merch shop linked in the description below, featuring new updated designs from your favorite Marvel projects. Use the code TEAMCAP or code IRONMAN in all caps to get 10% off of your order. Thanks so much and enjoy today's video.
Hey everyone.
Marvel is going to be jam-packed in 2025. Anything and everything from Disney Plus shows to theatrical releases to even new games releasing all this year in 2025. It's exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video, breaking it all down for you guys with kind of everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and so much more. You guys just watched the brand new Disney Plus, in particular Marvel MCU trailer. Those are pretty much all of the projects that we're anticipating and expecting to be coming to the Disney Plus streamer in the new year of 2025 here. Then again, there is so much more to anticipate, as I had also mentioned, because there's also a bunch of movies and some other projects on top of that, because that's just Disney Plus. Let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing all types of Marvel related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Also, be sure to hit that little notification bell right next to it to be notified for when we have new videos dropping here on the channel almost on the daily. There is a lot of Marvel news to keep up with. It's exactly why we're here, is to keep you guys updated with everything, not just that, but also break it down for you guys. As always, I really appreciate all of the support. And so, although some of the biggest releases on the Marvel horizon are still far away for the time being, like the two-part multiversal saga conclusion of Avengers Doomsday in 2026 next year and Avengers Secret Wars in 2027, there are still plenty for fans to keep them occupied in this year of 2025. From major film releases like Captain America Brave New World and the Fantastic Four First Steps, new Disney Plus shows like Daredevil Born Again or Marvel Zombies, and plenty of new comics to choose from them there as well. There's more than enough media for Marvel maniacs to sink their teeth into. That being in consideration, 2024 was a smaller year for Marvel at the movies than usual, with Deadpool and Wolverine being the only MCU film released theatrically. There were other offerings from Sony Pictures like Venom: The Last Dance or Kraven the Hunter, but we don't talk about those. For the MCU, they let The Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool, carry the flag in theaters all of 2024. Quite literally, it had a very long theatrical run. That's all set to change in 2025 though, however, with 3 new films coming that are sure to shake up the MCU in big ways as the franchise rounds out Phase 5 and prepares to launch Phase 6 and begin things for the next 2 Avengers movies. As we touched on already, first up is Captain America Brave New World, releasing on February 14th in theaters. Of course, the 4th film is the Captain America franchise and the first film to star Anthony Mackie Sam Wilson in the title role. Brave New World is directed by Julius Anna and features Sam Wilson in an espionage thriller where he'll encounter President President Hulk, or the Red Hulk, or also Thunderbolt Ross, now played by Harrison Ford, who will become the Red Hulk. And we also know that Giancarlo Esposito will be playing another supervillain, Sidewinder, and the leader of the Serpent Society in the comics, and that is Tim Blake's Nelson, will be reprising his role as the leader from the 2008's The Incredible Hulk. So it's been nearly over 2 decades since we have last seen him on screen. The cast also includes Danny Aramis, Joaquin Torres as the new Falcon, Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley reprising that role, Shara Haas as Ruth Bat Seraph, and a former Black Widow, Liv Tyler, returning as Betty Ross. The next MCU theatrical release is, of course, The Thunderbolts, releasing on May 2nd. Directed by Jake Schreier, this is a new franchise for the MCU in those terms, but will mostly feature characters fans are already familiar with, such as Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, the Red Guardian, John Walker, and the Ghost, also Taskmaster, will all be forming a team essentially under Valentina Allegra. Lewis Pullman is also reportedly set to make his MCU debut as the Sentry, but only confirmed to be named Bob in the trailer, and at least on paper, this appears to be a far cry from the original comics series premise of supervillains disguising themselves as superheroes, especially since Baron Zemo is seemingly nowhere to be seen, as he would be for the comics technically. We'll find out more about Thunderbolts soon enough as it releases in May, kicking things off for the summer. The last theatrical release for the MCU in 2025 is where Marvel fans everywhere will finally be able to see the first family join the MCU when the Fantastic Four First Steps is released on July 25th. Directed by WandaVision alum Matt Shakman, this kind of quote-unquote reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise seems the team in a 1960s retrofuturism inspired world where they must confront the world-devouring space god known as Galactus. This is definitely going to be a very important MCU movie, as this will probably set things up for the next Avengers movie and kind of, if not lead directly into it. It's also been heavily rumored around and kind of theorized around that RDJ will make his Doctor Doom debut and by the end of this movie. And so, outside of the theatrical releases for the MCU, there is a Marvel TV avalanche incoming for Disney+. Marvel has a full slate of television shows headed our way in 2025 in both animation and in live action, inside and out of the MCU. So make sure you hold on to that Disney Plus subscription if you don't want to miss anything. First up is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, a new animated show premiering on January 29th. Set in an alternate timeline from the main MCU, it will feature Hudson Thames as a young Spider-Man who is mentored by Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn. We don't know much more about the story beyond that, but going by the concept art that we have seen and then the official trailer, it will feature a wide cast of Spider-Man friends and foes. It really looks to be a fun origin story with some fun twists on it. Daredevil Born Again will follow up with that, premiering on March 4th, a continuation of Daredevil's Netflix series. The show will see the return of not just Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, but also Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk or the Kingpin, Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page, Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson, and John Bernthal as the Punisher. We don't know too much story details about this series, especially since the show went through a bit of a creative overhaul midway through its production and actual filming, so a lot of it was actually reshot, but reportedly will feature Fisk running for mayor of New York. We also know that this series has already been renewed for a second season. Next up on the Disney Plus slate for the MCU is The Ironheart Show, finally getting this one. The spin-off series about Riri Williams set to premiere on June 24th. Set after the character's debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Dominic Thorne returns as Ironheart, who finds herself in a tech vs. magic confrontation with Anthony Ramos as Parker Robbins, aka The Hood. This show was shot all the way back in 2022, so it's been a long time coming, but it also looks like we're finally getting it in 2025, as it seems to be confirmed for June 24th. Also spinning off of Black Panther's franchise is Eyes of Wakanda, another animated show, a 4-episode animated miniseries about the Hutat Zarezi, an elite group of Wakandan warriors that will be coming out on August 6th. It essentially tells the different stories of Wakanda throughout the years, is kind of the understanding of it thus far, but we don't know too much of the plot details, other than Ryan Coogler is also attached to the project. who is the same director for the first 2 Black Panther movies and also will be for the 3rd installment, so you already know it's going to be legendary. And rounding out the television front is another 4-episode animated miniseries, Marvel Zombies, and the live-action series Wonder Man. Marvel Zombies will premiere on October 3rd and takes place in the zombie reality depicted in the first season of What If. It's also said to be rated MA or rated R. The series will feature many MCU cast members reprising their roles in the voiceover, such as Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, David Harbour as the Red Guardian, so forth and so on. Wonder Man is set to premiere on December of 2025 with no actual particular or specific release date, although it is simply said to premiere sometime in December of this year. It will star Yahya Abdul Mateen II as Simon Williams, a superpowered actor who is recurring members of Avengers in the comics. Ben Kingsley will be returning as Trevor Slattery, the actor who had played the fake Mandarin in Iron Man 3, and also Demetrius Gross is set to play the Grim Reaper somewhere in the show, who is Simon's villainous brother. That in mind, Wonder Man also takes place on the West Coast and in LA, so many fans are kind of fingers crossed that this will be the beginning of the West Coast Avengers. Now, the one show that might, and a heavy emphasis on the might, that might premiere in 2025 is also not coming from Marvel Studios, is Spider-Noir. This is a live-action series from Sony Pictures Television depicted of Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir from the Spider-Verse animated movies, and is currently in the midst of its production and filming. It doesn't have a release date quite yet, that's why there's a heavy emphasis on it might premiere this year, but if the show is finished on time, it could premiere sometime by the end of 2025 on Amazon. We might also see the 2nd season of X-Men 97, since that is currently in production, but we just don't know for quite sure if that is going to be the case. And so, compared to the film and television slates for Marvel looks to have a bit of a thin year in comparison on the gaming front for 2025, bearing any surprise reveals. Part of this is because although several games at Marvel have been announced, there have been actually very few, if any, updates on any of them in time since, so we don't really know too much of how far along they really are and when they could actually be releasing. These games include Motive Studios' Iron Man game, Insomniac's Wolverine game, Cliffhanger Games' Black Panther, and Arcane's Blade. We also know that they are not getting any story DLC for Spider-Man 2, so we'll have to wait and see when we get more news about a Spider-Man 3 game and plans for the Venom spin-off game from that. There are also learned about from the Insomniac leak late in 2023. One game that is tentatively set to release in 2025 is Skydance's new media's Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. From producer and writer Amy Hennig of Uncharted fame, this single-player narrative-driven game will feature Captain America and the Azari incarnation of Black Panther as playable characters, like one of the original Black Panthers, essentially, who was around at the time of World War II, who will also have to work together to battle Hydra during the events of World War II. This doesn't have a specific release date aside from maybe being a tentative 2025 release window, so hopefully we learn something more concrete soon. Although NetEase's Heroes shooter Marvel Rivals is already available on some platforms as a live service game, it will be receiving regular seasonal content updates throughout 2025, including new heroes, maps, and customs. And lastly, taking a page out of the books, Marvel has some big comics coming in 2025 as well. As if Marvel's stacked lineup of 2025 of movies and shows and a bit of games wasn't already enough, there's going to be some big things on the comic book front. Their big focus for much of the year will be on the One World Under Doom comic line, a major crossover that explores what happens when Dr. Doom becomes the new Sorcerer Supreme and declares himself Emperor of the entire world. Kicking off in February, the core One World Under Doom book is a 9-issue series from Fantastic Four writer Ryan North and Powers of X artist R.B. Silva. That series will also show the Avengers regrouping and rallying to presumably stop Doom, even as they grapple with the fact that a great of many people in the Marvel Universe are happier actually living under Doom's rule. They'll also see this status quo play out in a number of other spin-off shows and ongoing comics as well, or much rather not shows, but series, including North's Fantastic Four, Joe Kelly's The Amazing Spider-Man, and many more. This new comic book lineup is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm super curious to see if and when we'll ever see a actually have this adapted into maybe a show or maybe into the MCU itself. There, of course, is quite a bit to look forward to in the MCU and with Marvel overall here in 2025. Let me know what you guys are all looking forward to most in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Different theories as well, I'm all ears. Let's discuss. I love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Leave a like on today's video as it really does help out the channel. I really appreciate it. Stick around here on the channel, Unofficial MCU, by hitting that subscribe button and notification bell to be notified for when we have new videos dropping here on the channel, almost on the daily. There's a lot of Marvel news and craziness that has been going on. That's exactly why we're here, is to keep you guys all updated on all of it and explain it all. Also, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below or to the channel. Also use codes Team Iron Man or Team Cap in all caps, depending on what team you are a part of, to get 10% off of your order. I'll be updating and dropping new designs on a regular basis, so make sure you check it out. It can make a perfect gift for someone else or even for yourself. With whatever way you support the channel, I really deeply do appreciate it. Whether it's simply watching today's video or purchasing one of our products, thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Peace out.